Welcome to the 2019 annual meeting of the Community Fund for Women and Girls. And thank you all for being here for what I know is going to be a great evening, an illuminating evening, and an instructive evening. This is a great event every year, and no doubt will be this year as well. But more than that, the Women and Girls Fund not only puts on a great annual meeting every year, but more than that, has been making a vital contribution to philanthropy in this community, to the Community Foundation, and to this community as a whole for 24 years. 24 years of building philanthropy, building women's philanthropy, 24 years of empowering women as philanthropists, 24 years of bringing a gender lens to the work of the Community Foundation and through us to the work of philanthropy in Greater New Haven. And 24 years of addressing the key issues of the day for women and therefore for our community. From Anna Quinlan's remarks on at the inaugural event of the Community Fund for Women and Girls, which I think Dottie Weston Murphy will check me, was 1996 at Lighthouse Point, to 2 years ago when the organizers of the 2017 Women's March were here, to last year when the founder of #MeToo joined us for a memorable session with our board chair, Kalila Brown-Dean. So tonight we're continuing that tradition. We're talking about issues of economic opportunity. We're talking about issues of economic equity, and we're doing so specifically through talking about the care economy. And you have on your seats or in your hands now what we call an issue brief at the Community Foundation about the care economy, about these people who do the work of caring in our society. What could be more important than the work of caring for the vulnerable, the very young, the very old, the sick, people who need caregiving? What could be more important? And 88% of these people are women, largely women of color. And their wages, their earnings, as you can see in your issue brief, don't even approach what anyone would consider a living wage. Wages meaning that for many of these people who work hard from sunup to sundown doing the work of caring, they live at or below or near, just above the poverty line. So we have a great panel to explore this issue. Thank you to Miriam Gohara, who's our moderator tonight, and thank you to our panelists. I think Miriam was going to introduce them in a few moments. These issues of the care economy, of equity, economic equity, and economic inclusion point to a larger challenge that is occupying the attention of the Community Foundation these days, which is how we create a future of opportunity in Greater New Haven. How do we expand opportunity, economic opportunity in Greater New Haven? That's the headline of our annual report for 2019, creating a future of opportunity. It's the focus of the strategic planning that we're doing at the Community Foundation. The foundation is deep into a strategic planning process being led by Angela Powers, who's here tonight, planning the next 5 years, 2020 to 2024, focusing on growth that is inclusive and equitable, because these are the keys to creating opportunity in our community. And our focus is how do we create more opportunity for more residents of Greater New Haven? How do we bring the community together around a new vision that prioritizes growth and inclusion and that creates more opportunity, particularly for people who have been left out of the opportunities that are being created in our community, who've been left out because of economic dislocation, have been left out because of structural racism, and who've been left out because of gender bias. And there is certainly, we see that throughout the economy and have always seen it. This leads us, of course, back to the Community Fund for Women and Girls, the vital contribution that it has made, as I've said, and and the vital contribution it will make as we go forward. So we're honored to be working with the fund and the fund leadership as we do our strategic planning on how we can effectively address issues of economic inclusion and economic equity for women, among others, in our society. I do want to call out our board and its leadership on these issues, on the strategic planning issues, and on our focus on this. I think Kalila Browndean, who I mentioned, is here. Kalila's right here. The light is shining in my face. I can't see you. Our board chair. Joe Gordon is here. I did see Joe in the back. Maisa Akbar, is Maisa here? Maisa, I hope, is going to be joining us. I don't know if there are any other board members in the room. I do want to mention Kelly Ann Day from our board, who is our board liaison to the Community Fund for Women and Girls. And I want to do a quick shout out to our staff who work so hard for the fund and work so hard putting on this event this evening. Carmen Burgos, Trish Caldwell, Jolynn Walker, Sarah Fabish, Kara Strawn, and Sharon Capetta. Thank you all. And many other staff who were involved as well. And thanks above all to the fund and the leadership of the fund volunteers who, today's fund volunteers, as well as past fund volunteers, who through their passion and their commitment and their persistence over almost a quarter of a century have built the Community Fund for Women and Girls and have focused this community's philanthropy on issues affecting women and girls. The fund is so ably and inspirationally led today by Karen Peart from Yale University, who's chair of the advisory board of the Community Fund for Women and Girls, and so it's my pleasure to turn the microphone over to Karen.